Welcome to Real Estate on the Rocks, where you get top shelf real estate conversations served straight up, never watered down. Here's your host, Dave Snowberger.
Top of the morning to you there, Marshall.
Hey, what's going on, Dave?
Oh, not much. It's time for another episode of Real Estate on the Rocks.
Awesome.
What are we talking about today?
I don't know. It feels like a long time since I've been in the studio.
We took a week off and we're back. You know, we had to button up some vacations, get back to work, put ourselves into action. And of course, like any realtor, we really need to lead with revenue. So our careers come first.
I've been paying the bills. Sorry.
There you go. There you go. All right. So today on Real Estate on the Rocks, we're going to talk a little bit about video. Right now we're really doing a lot of research on video, like great ideas for video, what's going to stand out with our sphere of influence or our circle of friends, and what types of videos can we produce to just kind of be that a term that gets thrown around a lot is digital mayor. We hear this a lot. I know that there's some of the coaching programs and it's all over video, all over, YouTube, if you're watching video, or Facebook, where they talk about be this digital mayor. Now, really, what's that mean? What's it mean to you, Marshall?
It means being the star of your town, getting out there and video everything from any grand opening to any cool restaurants to eat at, maybe some cool parks your clients are going to want to go and visit with their kids, any events that are happening, that maybe like something cool is happening downtown for the 4th of July. It's just taking all that in, turning it into video, getting yourself out there in front of people.
Okay, you hopped right into the ideas. I was just more asking, what's a digital mayor mean to you?
That is a digital mayor.
As you could...
if you think about it, a digital mayor is kind of the focal point. He's the, when people come into the town, he's the guy that's going to show everyone around. That's the digital mayor.
So he's the tour guide.
Yeah, kind of like a tour guide.
Okay, so a tour guide. So you just throw people around in your car, drive them around until...
Well, not that way.
Oh, okay.
With the camera.
Oh, okay. All right. So what digital mayor means to me really is the same thing you just mentioned. Just kind of staying omnipresent in people's grabbing mind share out there. And so when they think about certain things around in the area, they think about you, and they tie that direct correlation to real estate with you. And it really helps you celebritize yourself in front of your viewers, whether it's your, past clients, your sphere of influence, and your database is that's really who you want to cater to, creating this content, and then picking up anybody new that you can add to that and feed the beast that's known as your database, right?
Right.
So we have 5,000 people plus in our database, so we know pretty big we know pretty well, who those 5,000 people are. We know that we can send out videos and let people self-select whether they're, intend to do business with us in the future. Do they just like our content? We can judge things off of our response on the video. How does it do on Facebook versus Instagram versus if we do something on LinkedIn, which I don't do anything on LinkedIn yet. However, I think moving the ball down the road, we need to pick up more sources and really what they're calling that multi-channel, and so really have multi-channel outlets for your content. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn are your top 5. Did I miss any there?
No, you touched on engagement a little bit, and I think it's important to notice that engagement can be a couple different things. It can be people who scroll past your video for a quick 3 seconds. I mean, would you consider that engagement? Or to me, engagement is people are actually jumping on there, liking the post, and making conversations back and forth. That's a good engagement for me.
Right. You're actually talking about creating what? Stop-worthy content, right?
Stop-worthy.
Stop-worthy. There you go. We'll let you use that hashtag, that it's stop-worthy engagement or content, that gets people, when they're scrolling, they're using their thumb or their forefinger and they're going through, what's going to make them stop and pay attention to you a little bit. Video has obviously been proven lately to show, the analytics show that people watch the video. People are intrigued by other people or what they're doing. I think the consumer base out there has lost its interest in homes with, like the virtual tour stuff where an agent grabs their cell phone, turns it around on them, and typically they're vertical. They never do it horizontal like they really should. However, they're vertical, and they have it down low, and it looks like they're shooting something from the Blair Witch Project.
For the Blair Witch.
Yeah, and so that's what it looks like. It actually makes me a little bit sick to my stomach when they run through a house like that, where their heads bobbing and everything else. It's just kind of weird. However, I applaud those folks for doing video at least. It's just time to really start paying attention to your content and upping your game. You always need to be pushing the envelope a little bit. And I think people, the consumer, have run out of the bandwidth to take in any more beautiful homes. These days, you have $150,000 a house or you have $1 million house. The photography makes it look like they're all $1 million homes. We can get a not so great place, maybe distressed a little bit, but the photography is going to make it look beautiful. They're going to throw it on the internet and it's going to grab some views, and it might grab some people reaching out like, hey, is this home available? It's really pretty. And when they show up, they're going to be a little bit disappointed on how it looks. We've actually been through that a couple of times. I went through it last week when I was out looking at a property for myself that's on 2 acres, beautiful house with pool, everything else. And I couldn't get why it was only, $350 versus I thought it was about a $500,000 home. And we got there and like, man, this is a $250,000 home.
Those are great pictures.
Yeah, those are great pictures. And it's almost borderline like false advertising, which they've warned us about, back when I first started in real estate about 5 or 6 years ago, and say, give a better picture of what you're actually listing and stay far, far away from Photoshop when it comes to listing pictures.
Right.
However, getting into, just posting constantly and hammering and inundating people about real estate, I think is really a mistake at this point, right? And so we have to do more fun things, right? We have to, you do great things when you go out to the park with your kids and you film that a little bit and you cut it in to be something cool. And if your friends are moving to the neighborhood or you have a client moving to the neighborhood, they can go to our YouTube channel or your Facebook page and typically see all that. What else are you doing there, right there, other than just that?
Well, I think you're right. I wanted to touch back on another point. I think you're right. There's so much content out there now that viewers can be selective, and that their attention span now, with all the ads popping up and everything, people will just scroll right past you. So it's got to be that stop worthy that you were talking about.
Yeah, people could give a shit about real estate right now.
Right.
I'm telling you. I mean, in Austin,
another
Texas,
house tour, Bosh.
Yeah, in Austin, Texas, there's 16,000 realtors, that I would say a majority of those, let's go 80-20 rule, even if 20% of those were tech savvy. And what I mean by tech savvy is posting pictures, they're very digitally wound. They have their whole package together. They're constantly putting out content to everybody out there. If you have, what's 20% of 16,000, 3,000 plus realtors, constantly posting things and paying for ads and sponsoring things and whatever else, or boosting ads or whatever on Facebook, we're going to see the same content over and over again. I think the consumers are onto us and they want something else. And so this really helps us. What we've always done is really try to create that top of mind awareness, right? We call it TOMA. And so our top of mind awareness is basically trying to celebritize ourselves in our communities of when people see us, they know that we sell real estate. Like, I'm not trying to be the next George Clooney of Georgetown, Texas. I'm not trying to be that. However, what's it called? Parasocial.
Parasocial.
Oh. That's what I'm talking about when we bring up the points of parasocial behavior, is that parasocial behavior is that your mind, the consumer's mind, can't really decipher through, or they can't really tell who is a celebrity and who isn't, because these days, typically, you're taking in content from your TV, you're taking in content from your iPad or your computer or your cell phone. And so now, with the exception of the TV, really, you can do the other three at a high level. You can always be on the computer, you can always be on someone's iPad, and you can certainly always be on their phone. And so if you're marketing yourself right and you're standing out in your sphere or around your community, they'll start seeing you more. And when they see you, they can't tell, once again, if you are, their mind can't decipher what I was trying to say was between George Clooney and you.
Right.
Most people will think that's bullshit. Think about it, though. Think about it. It's not BS. It's 100% true, because, the one reason why we've switched over to our faces on the sign, our faces on our business cards, our faces all over media or digital media or social media is because of that, because people remember faces.
That's true.
Right? Names come and go, but
if there's a grocery store there and I'll see them and I'm like, man, I know that guy from somewhere. Their name may not pop into my head right away, but their face will, and maybe where I've seen them at.
Right. And so we get that all the time, and people ask me, I'll go to the grocery store, hey, how do I know you? How do I know you? I always get that. Like, you look really familiar. How do I know you? And I'm like, I always say, like, I'm a local realtor. I have my sign all over a bunch of, I have my face all over my sign, or I have my face on my sign all over the county, all over Williamson County and Austin. I have my face everywhere. So maybe that's it. I don't know. I don't think that's it. Okay, well, I'm just giving you some hints here, but that's what it is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, was it that live police show, live PD?
No, live PD. I haven't made it on that yet. Knock on wood. Thank God. Always wondering what would happen if I did.
Right. And so you were talking about videos, not being able to decipher who's who, and the professional on the TV, on the radio, on the YouTube, or whatever. So it is also important to put the right kind of content on the right kind of channel. Correct.
Correct. Talk a little bit more about that.
So if you're going to do a long video, that video may be better suited for YouTube than Facebook, because we all know on Facebook we're just scrolling past, and it's not going to be the right kind of content for it. People won't watch it. People who go to YouTube, they're more inclined to watch something that's 30 minutes long.
Yeah, if you're making something 30 minutes long as a realtor, I can't see you doing that unless you're filming your podcast. You're filming your podcast. You're doing something like that. You've got something going on in the community where you're not touching the TV a lot. However, to capture someone's mind share for 30 minutes, you got to have some pretty compelling information, I would think.
Right.
Tell me I'm wrong, but I would say long form video to a realtor in a realtor's world. And like I said, if you disagree with me, that's fine, unless it's a how-to video for other realtors. I don't, or a podcast or a vlog or something like that. I don't see people going past 5 to 7 minutes, and especially on the consumer side. However, I don't see a lot of consumers hanging out on YouTube looking for local information. Do you?
No,
I don't.
Nope. I feel the same way about Instagram.
I realize that, Google is, the YouTube is basically the number one, almost tied for the number 2 search engine. I said that backwards, but the number 2 search engine pretty much tied for the number 1 search engine, behind their partner, or it's Google, and so YouTube is Google. And so when you do a search, if you're front forward facing and people want to know about Round Rock Donuts, right? I think that's the place to put a longer form video, maybe of only 2 or 3, 4 minutes, onto that with some keywords that if people search for Round Rock Donuts, they can go out and find somebody that's done an informational video on them. I know there's a local guy. There's me. I've done one for Wilco Eats. There's another one that has a more of a national TV show. He's done something. A lot of the news channels have done something. And then there's been bloggers and vloggers all over that have come in and eaten the donuts and rated the donuts and talked about it, and been a critic of the donuts. I know all those videos are out there, right? And so continue to do those kind of things, I can see. But I would say more of our audience, what we're trying to get, that we're trying to attract in and then retarget once we attract them in, is Facebook. Facebook is probably got to be the number 3 search engine. It probably does more searches than Bing.
That's my sandbox. That's my go-to.
What, Facebook?
Yeah.
Okay. Expand on that.
Just for the videos, I'm not really making the longer content videos these days, so I'm keeping it short and simple, making shorter videos and putting those out. Great place to put them for me is Facebook. I don't feel that Instagram, like you mentioned, is really grabbing that local audience for me, and that's what I'm looking for, is that local audience. Right,
and Instagram, I'd say when it comes to our coaching program or who we are in that world with our podcast and Top Shelf Agents and all that great stuff, that captures Instagram on a bigger level. We can capture more. We can throw a wider net through Instagram than we can. Facebook is, you're right, that's that hyper local that we're looking for. We do have Facebook pages for all those things I just mentioned. However, when I go to put out content, the first place I go to also is Facebook. And I'm very conscious about keeping things under 2 minutes.
Would you say that Facebook Live has overtaken the other videos, or should you do a mixture of them still, or How do you feel about the live going on?
I think you should still do a mixture of them. My opinion is that. However, it shows the algorithm was in favor of the live videos there for a while. But I know that people got super annoyed with live videos.
Right.
And I mean, people that pop out and...
those are all the shaky videos come from.
Well, there's that. There's the shaky videos, and there's like somebody at a concert, right, that turns their phone on, and it's just distorted audio. It just sounds horrible. It's pixelated, and then they try to keep it on there for 20 or 30 minutes, and it's like you scroll it past it, or I get a notification, which really just drives me up the wall, is a notification that so-and-so that I don't even know is live
standing on a street corner somewhere.
Some event, right? And I could say if it annoys me, I'm an average Joe. It probably annoys my clients too. So if I go live, it's got to be something which I would deem compelling, and I really think that through. Is it something people would watch? The other day I went live. We had talked about that.
Pocket?
I went live in my pocket somehow. My phone unlocked. I went live in my pocket, and I had one of my neighbors was also like, dude, you're live right now. What are you doing? Because they see me out messing with my car, and they're like, it's not coming through, whatever you're doing. I'm like, what are you talking about? I pull out my phone, and of course it's been live for like 7-8 minutes. And the funny thing is it had like, 10, 20 likes, whatever it was. And people were
one of your better videos.
Yeah. We're interacting. Yeah. Better video because I'm not on it. Right. So pretty funny stuff. But where do we go from here?
Let's cut into some video ideas. Like,
let's do it.
What are some great ideas that they should be doing to put on their Facebook?
Anything food related, is keep it food, family, and pets, like things like that. People love everything about all three of those things. People love food. I see a lot of people doing workout videos. For some reason, I guess that works because, people continue to do them.
I'm tired of watching those.
And people continue to do workout videos or themselves in Orange Theory or showing up to the gym or whatever it is. And, that to me is not compelling. However, it must work because so many other people do it. Right. And so I guess people want to live vicariously through their friends that are working out or lifting or feel super proud of them. However, I don't watch those. I scroll right past them, and sometimes I even roll my eyes. Next one would be food. That we do Wilco Eats. You guys out there, everybody can find Wilco Eats out on Facebook and Instagram world. That'll give you a little tidbit. I shoot with a photographer sometimes, and sometimes I just turn the phone around, but I go to the local restaurants around here, and I really concentrate on the good food, the atmosphere, the customer service, and then I just post a lot of pictures and do a fun little video that I cut up usually in GoPro Quick, and it's got some great songs you can put on it, and I throw them out there. They get a ton of engagements. We've had videos up to 35,000 views, 25,000 views, 15,000 views, so we've definitely received views from all those things, and then that really helps with building your audience if you're going to retarget and do other videos that are forward facing towards consumers. You can pull those videos in.
Now, when he says food reviews, guys, stay away from Burger King, stay away from Whataburger, the Taco Bells. Go for the places that are trend, like the newer restaurants that just opened up. Maybe they're not a chain. They're very local, something that people can say, wow, I need to go try that place out, and I can't do it anywhere else.
Right. And ask for suggestions too, is from your sphere on your Facebook, people that are local to you, say, hey, what's your favorite restaurant out there? Where's a good place to go get tacos? Where's the best place to go get a steak? Or what's the best margarita in town? And that one creates engagement before you go do the video. Of course, you're going to have the yahoos that kick out things like Marshall just said, like, oh, you should try Jack in the Box tacos. They're the best. I mean, that dude's a realtor, and he's always just trying to chime in and be funny. However, I appreciate the humor, but I'm really asking the question because I'd like to know what people think is the best taco so I can go out there and film a video about it.
Boom. I put a margarita one out the other day now that you mentioned it, and got a bunch of people asking me, hey, man, when we're going to go to happy hour?
Yeah.
So just be careful what you put out there.
Right. And so I even commented on the margarita. My favorite place is to go get a sangria swirl over at Harding Corona, here in Austin. I'm more in Cedar Park, but it's fantastic. I love it. I look forward to it every other weekend when we go eat Mexican food. That's the first thing I want when I walk in, and they typically know it. So I rarely drink, and when I do, it's one of those things. So I like it.
Awesome. For me, I guess one of my go-tos is my kids. I mean, since we've had the kids, I've been putting my kids in videos, and they've been getting more likes than anything else that I've done. So I've just kind of focused on that. It's really easy to do because I'm always having to take them somewhere, one of those trampoline places, the park, Austin Aquarium, anything cool like that. And I'm like, hey, I'm here anyways. Other people are going to know about this place. So I pull out my camera, I start recording, I take pictures, and I put it up there, half for family and half for the audiences out there. People engage with it.
Yeah, and I've started doing that with Wilco Eats. Every time we travel, I included Morgan on doing one round around spring break. We were at Magnolia up in Waco, that Chip and Joanna Gaines restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
And, I typically wouldn't want to hit a touristy spot like that. However, I know other people like it. I know Nicole really wanted to try it, so we went. And I shot a video, and I put her in the intro of saying,
Fun.
Hey, this is Wilco Eats, and we're at Magnolia today. Let's go inside and check it out. And we had to do about 2 or 3 takes because she was super nervous. However, she loved it, and we got in there and did it. And then,
I bet she had fun doing it.
Yeah. And then, we made those other videos while we went to Branson, Missouri, of all places. Not really a destination place for spring break, but however, it was really cool. We did a skiing mountain there, and it was, 85 degrees outside, which was kind of cool. And so we shot that video, put Morgan in that, how much fun she was having coming down the hill. And those videos got a ton of engagement and still get engagement.
When you talked about it, I thought there was snow on that hill. And then I saw the videos and I was like, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's like a white AstroTurf. It's cool. And there's a slight sprinkle they put on it from the water, and it just makes it slick. And man, you just jet down that hill. It's not bad. It was like $20 for an hour.
I had never seen anything like that before. I hadn't seen it. I didn't know it was even a destination to go to, but now it's in one of my list of places to visit.
Yeah, Branson was actually very cool, man. Very scenic, very cool. Right there on the tip of the Ozarks. It's cool. So, but people enjoyed it. We went to some famous restaurant there where they throw rolls, right? And so I would sit there with my camera like next to my head, and I'd put my hand up, like, Utah, get 2, and like he'd throw one right at me, and I'd catch it, and I had it on film, and I don't know if I've ever even posted those things.
I don't recall seeing it.
But it's just content. I've got 4,000 videos in my phone, and just 4,000 photos, and I've got about 1,900 videos in my phone, and every now and then I pop something out, and I say, hey, check this out, and people are like, I didn't know you went there. And I'm like, dude, that's old content. I'm just always saving stuff. And Nicole gives me the biggest stuff about it. Like, when did you go eat that barbecue? And I'm like,
I didn't know if you were going to show up today. I thought you were in Galveston still because you posted something in Galveston last night.
No, I was in Corpus.
Or Corpus.
Why would I be in?
My bad.
You're part of our team in Corpus. Why would I be in Galveston?
My bad.
What a dope. All right. So the kids, cool things too is maybe obviously you can do the bars always. We're Real Estate on the Rocks, so we do like to go out and sometimes do the bar stuff. We've done the neighborhood videos where we don't necessarily showcase the actual home, but we showcase the whole neighborhood. And so we if it's a gated community, we stand outside the community, we talk a little bit about it, we talk about the builders inside of it, we talk about maybe the schools that are around. We don't get too in depth on the schools. However, we do talk about really what the benefits of living in this area would be. And so, usually those are a little bit more long form. Those are about 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. We haven't done one in a while. I like to take my drone when I do those videos and do drone video over the whole neighborhood. And that's time consuming on the editing. So I've backed away from those a tad bit. And I've really just been sticking to the short form video that's really about that food, family, and fun,
Food, family, and fun.
There you go. Production video, what's that mean?
A big production video, so something that's actually got the music and cutscenes and maybe some actors in there to help you out, something a little bit more than just in the moment. Right.
So we've seen some of the stuff, the production videos, and we've seen some of the parody videos right out now that are obviously a production. There was the guy that did Old Town Road.
Right.
Everybody seemed to jump on. Yeah, that was fantastic, that he did that, and it was very clever. And he got a ton of attention from it. And I believe he's still getting attention from it. And he's on podcasts out there and that we listen to sometimes in the morning. And then we've seen another team just recently in Colorado?
Yeah.
Definitely. Do a remake of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And they had to remove their
brokerage actually fired them.
No kidding.
Yeah, they removed them.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so wow. So yeah, they had to shut down their Facebook. They had to shut down all their social media, and then apparently Marshall has said now that they've been let go. They've been asked to leave the brokerage they were with because I wasn't sure what it was for. Apparently, they were pretty insensitive to some of the housing areas there. I don't even know if I should speak on it because I just don't even know. I didn't even listen to the song. You showed it to me and it's just like I rolled my eyes, another parody video.
Right.
Because people have been doing those for quite some time. But however, once the kid put out...
it upset some people and the backlash got them. So it didn't go the direction they thought it was going to go.
Yeah, but they're a top producing team. So, that brokerage might have acted too quick on that stuff. And just instead of letting that 24-hour, 48-hour news cycle...
They need a new song now, Bounce Back.
Yeah. So there's definitely the do's and the don'ts. Do think through a lot of the videos that you're going to do. Obviously, you wouldn't do anything offensive, or you wouldn't push.
Stay away from political stuff. Stay away from religious stuff. I mean, all the same things that you wouldn't bring up in a conversation, keep out of your video.
Let's touch on that real quick. Sidebar. All right. Yeah. Sidebar. Stop talking about politics. If you are in the eye of your sphere and they're watching you, remember,
it's divided.
It's divided 50-50. I'm not saying to pander to both sides or be disingenuous to yourself. However, keep your opinions to yourself. That's my opinion, but you should certainly keep your opinion to yourself in this political climate because you're going to frustrate somebody. All right. And so I cracked a joke about this guy that was running for senator here, Beto. I cracked a joke just about his signs. Like, what are we going to do with all his signs once he loses, right? And I tell you what, there was somebody that I've helped for 2 years that's uber leaning a different way in politics, and she listed her house with somebody else. I've helped her for 2 years, keeping up with the value, give her CMAs all the time. She's like, I'm not ready yet. I'll let you know in the spring. Everything else, never even consulted me, never said another word to me, defriended me on Facebook and everything else because I cracked a joke. To me, it was a joke, but to her, it wasn't. So a lot of this stuff, people don't have a sense of humor when it comes to the politics.
I lost someone from staying neutral. Some lady called me up and she was like, hey, this and that and that and that. And I was like, nah. So I took the neutral road. And then she was like, oh, you're obviously this. And she left. Yeah. And I wasn't. But I was like, wow, I just lost one because I was neutral.
Yeah. And so the biggest thing to do is just deflect. When people ask me that, I've had clients ask me, so, which way do you lean politically? I'm like, just kind of in the middle of the road, just kind of don't care. Just keep my head down and work. That's all I do, but I thought the Beto thing was funny about the recycling his signs, but nobody else did. So, not nobody else, 180 people thought it was funny on my Facebook and one person got pissed and left. I'd rather have that one person back than 180 people be happy with that post or think it was funny or like it. I'd rather have that one person back because I did value her friendship and I would have loved and enjoyed her business and a chance to have, sold her home and serve her. So anyway, any more ideas, Marshall?
Just look around yourself, look at everything that you're doing for the day and take it in. Look at it. If it's interesting to you, it's probably going to be interesting to someone else.
Right. Give them some tips real quick on how to shake off the jitters of being on film.
Start it up and just start going. If you mess up, keep going again. One of the things I like to do is just kind of go through a few lines at a time because sometimes it's hard. You trip yourself up just like, oh my gosh, I got to remember this whole page of stuff. But just do 2, 3, 4 lines at a time. Take a breath, keep your hands in the same spot, and then wait a few seconds and then go on with the next few lines. Wait a few seconds, go on with the next ones. And then when you go back later to edit your video, you can chop it up and it just looks like one of those other YouTube type videos. Doesn't look, crazy or anything.
Right. When you did the video that showed folks how to do video, really, I think you called it video or something like that. I
overdid it on the editing just so they could see the chop ups.
So it does give them a little bit of the editing examples?
Right. So it doesn't look completely smooth, and it doesn't need to look completely smooth either.
Right. Okay, well, we could probably make another one and post it on Top Shelf Agents. So if you're interested in that, head over to Top Shelf Agents, check that out. I wanted to go ahead and...
but another way I get the jitters out, I don't drink. I'm just kidding.
Okay. That's not even funny because we're finding out more and more when we crack jokes, people take us literally. Even though we say just kidding and laugh, we get emails about, were you guys serious? No, that's why we said just kidding and we laughed.
It's 10 o'clock in the morning.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere is what everybody always says.
That's true. All
right. So Mike Harrell, let's talk Mike Harrell real quick. Mike Harrell is with Guaranteed Rate. That's our man when it comes to our loans. We throw him at everybody that comes into our system. Whether they choose to use him or not is up to typically the client. However, he does typically show his value proposition of why he would be the best person to represent that buyer on the loan. And so if you need any more information about Guaranteed Rate and Michael Harrell, just reach out to us at info@realestateontherocks.com. Marshall, am I forgetting anything else?
No, he did say he's going to be on the podcast soon, so look forward to that.
Okay. Well, since we're trying to keep this really kind of date neutral.
Date neutral.
Is that a word? Why am I reaching for words so bad today? Oh my gosh. You can definitely tell we took 2 weeks off out of the studio here. But we really appreciate it. If you need us for anything, you can reach out to us at Top Shelf Agents, or you can give us an email at info@realestateontherocks.com, or give me a call or a text personally. My number is 512-773-6461. And if you are interested in, we haven't talked about EXP, and we're not really going to because we're kind of broker neutral in here, is you can text join EXP to 88,000. Check that out.
I like that.
All right. Let's get out of the studio now before we get in trouble.
I'm out.